Hello, Enid. I'm Derrick Silas, the Director of Communications for the City of Enid, and with me today for our weekly City Management Update is the City Manager, Jerald Gilbert.
Hello, everybody. It's good to be here with you again. Another Monday morning
Yes.
in Enid, Oklahoma.
Yes. So I know there's a lot of issues maybe on the minds of those in the City of Enid. Let's talk about first we had a storm about a month and a half, 2 months ago.
Several months ago, yeah.
Let's talk about the effort in picking up the tree limbs, because we're still getting some questions about that.
Okay, first and foremost, the city is continuing to pick up limbs throughout the city. I realize that some limbs have been sitting there for weeks and weeks and weeks, and certainly we are moving as quickly as we can. We have picked up over 1,000 tons of debris and storm debris and taken out to the landfill over the past several weeks and months. We'll continue to do it. One of the biggest concerns I get, and one of them I just got was at the last council meeting, was, well, I didn't know there was a deadline to call in limbs for the free storm pickup. Mm-hmm. And yes, we have passed that deadline. It was on June the 12th. However, if your pile of limbs is out there with other storm piles that haven't been picked up yet, when we hit an area, we pick them all up. So I want to assure people, if you have storm debris and other people have storm debris piled at the curb, I encourage you to go ahead and put it out or put it in their pile, and we'll pick it up anyway. We have something like 388 outstanding work orders still, and there's probably more piles and jobs than that, because again, some people don't call things in or haven't, either because they didn't know to or they were concerned about paying for it. If it's in an area that we're working, we're going to pick up every pile of limbs we see, and we're going to haul it away. Additionally, we've got an additional crew that will be working this week, specifically to focus on one area of the city that's got about 40 plus dense pickup orders, and I think that will help our team with our 2 trucks and 2 crews that are working the rest of the city. I'm hopeful that in the next couple of weeks or so, we'll be able to finish picking up the city. I see we have a graphic on the screen, hopefully that your audience can see, that shows the area of the city that's been picked up at least once already. So there are significant areas in the northwest and northeast corner. We're focusing on the northeast area, north of Chestnut right now and east of Van Buren. Okay. So continue to be patient if you would. If you haven't already called in the pile, you might let us know again. They will have your address on the list, so you'll be able to know whether it's on the list or not. And when we come out, we focus on an area and pick up everything that's in the area. So sometimes people may see our trucks pick up one pile and move on. There are reasons for that. One could be there could be something that's occurred that requires all of our crews to move to a different area. There could be something that comes up. There also are times when people have put waste, other solid waste products with the brush. When that happens and we're out picking up brush, we have to pass their pile because we can't. The whole idea is to recycle the brush and chip it at the landfill, so we can't mix it in with trash. So if you have separate trash from your brush items, please keep those separate. Mm-hmm. So.
Okay.
Anyway, just the biggest thing to take away is we're still coming, so have patience. If it's been a while, you might call in and make sure that we have it on the list, but it's more likely that it's just an area of town that we haven't been back to or been to yet.
Okay. I'm certain that a lot of the individuals in the community have seen, even in the newspaper, about an upcoming meeting on Wednesday at 5 p.m. to discuss the COVID-19 pandemic and the possibility of mask, another ordinance. Let's talk about that a little bit.
You bet. One of the biggest responsibilities of city government in our city and every city that rests with the governing body, ultimately the mayor and city commissioners, is the safety of our citizens. And as this COVID-19 crisis has continued and evolved and we've learned more about it, we've taken several measures over time and we've reopened, as people know. Clearly the situation is worsening to a degree, not only in many places in the nation, but in Oklahoma and in Enid. Mm-hmm. We've been fortunate. Our numbers are still relatively low. I think we were at about 102 or something like that in the county today. I think 98 in the city. Those numbers have gone up, about 20 or so in the past week, and we are concerned that with clearly the infections in the community, and there's the possibility of spread. And so the Commission's concerned about that. They, like everybody else, are not interested in taking knee-jerk type reactions, but they are interested in doing things that protect the public. What exactly those things are up to some debate, and I'm sure we'll have a healthy discussion on Wednesday as we have a meeting at City Hall, special meeting. It'll be in person, but it'll also be on Zoom, which is very important for the participation of the public, and maybe even some of the commissioners may participate that way, as they have in the past. Some of the measures considered may be mandatory masking. I know there's several cities in Oklahoma that have gone to that. I can't tell you that that's what's going to happen, but certainly that will be discussed. There may be some other measures, like looking at large gathering sizes and what might be appropriate there. I do want to say that whatever action the City Commission takes is not going to be out of line completely, as we know that Stillwater and Norman and Stillwell and there's another community that slips my mind at the moment. Oklahoma City has taken some actions already. Oklahoma City hasn't done mandatory masking, but they have done or required masking in restaurants and bars, and actually a reduction of capacity in those. It's my understanding they're going to be contemplating mandatory masking on Thursday in a special meeting. So I don't know exactly what the Commission will do. I've already received several emails, and I'm sure they've seen many or received many regarding people's viewpoints on these. And most of the viewpoints I've got are adamantly against masking. I certainly respect and understand that opinion. There will be public health officials included in the meeting, as there have been previously and throughout the course of the pandemic. I appreciate the efforts of both hospital administrators, Krista and Finney, and Garfield County with Maggie, and recently Express Wellness has participated. Ruby Williams, I believe I've got her name right, has participated last week. We'll have another standing call today with those officials and other community leaders at 3 o'clock with the mayor that we've been doing for several months now throughout the course. And so I know it's a difficult time because there's a lot of uncertainty. We don't know what's going to happen with COVID. I know the Enid Public Schools is looking to release their plan for bringing kids back to school on July 20th, I believe. And so I know that they're working very hard. Businesses now, if they want to, or any organization that feels like they want to take some COVID protection measures that might be more than what the city recommends or can certainly do that. I know a good example is the nonprofit center downtown requires masks. That's not a city mandate. It's not a state mandate, but it's an action they felt is necessary to take, and everyone should respect that, and I believe does respect that. So we'll see what the city does on mandatory masking. I do know that it's not, people have a right, and I would recommend that everybody out there listening that has an opinion, I would recommend they call their commissioner or email their commissioner. All that information is available on the website.
Yes, and we will also have a graphic that we'll be putting up on
good.
Facebook that has the commissioners and mayor phone number and email address, so they can contact them in those ways.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best ways to get your specific input and feedback to the commissioners. They certainly represent the public. They also have been elected or appointed to do what is best for the city of Enid. So I know it'll be difficult. So I know some of the emails that I have received have been very adamant, almost to the point of people saying, well, we're never going to shop in Enid again. I do understand those sentiments. That is not the intent of what the commission's trying to do. All they're trying to do is take whatever actions collectively they believe and that they will vote on are necessary to protect the community from further community spread and further problems. So again, our seating on the Wednesday meeting for the public will be very limited. It'll be 25, 28 seats, something like that. because we're trying to practice good social distancing as well, as we have been at all of our in-person meetings since we started having them again in June, I think.
Yes.
And so we'll also be doing temperature checks and those things. But we do welcome, and the commission welcomes input, as it should. These are your elected representatives, so let them know what you think. And then there's room for some of you to be there. If we exceed the seating capacity on Wednesday, we'll just ask those folks to socially distance and stay outside until such time as somebody leaves the meeting. So I think the best avenue for input on this potential decision on whatever it is to contact the commissioners before the meeting, let them know what you think, and then certainly participate on Zoom. And if you can come down here and there's room, please do.
And we will have the meeting open for public comments. They'll be able to speak on that.
Yes, sir. In fact, I may not have told you yet. I need you to get one of those sign-up sheets out there for folks. Okay, good.
Actually, and if you look at the graphic we were showing, the public comments are enid.org/public comments.
Okay.
And you can go up on there and sign up if you want to speak at the commission meeting. However, if you want to just email the commissioner beforehand, you can just email the commissioners or the mayor about your opinion regarding this effort. But like I said, if they want to actually speak at the meeting, they just go to enid.org/public comments and they can sign up. That's if they're going to be on Zoom, but if they're in the actual meeting, they just sign up there at the meeting and be able to talk. So, and that's all the information on the screen there. We'll live stream the meeting at on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. So.
Yeah, so again, I encourage the public to participate in those ways that Derrick just mentioned. So that's probably the most significant thing that's happening right now. I know, unfortunately, there's a difference of opinion, and these things can be divisive. So I would hope that whatever the commission decides, I know certainly the city will get behind and do whatever it is. And so please get your input in. And there's other stuff going on, as always. There's construction projects all over the place with water, sewer, and roads. Many of you have seen them. There's still trains working through town. There was a train blockage out front. Again, we're limited on, actually, there's not a whole lot we can do about that. But the city is still functioning, I won't say as normal, but providing the services that we do and the specific functions that we are supposed to do. So all this uncertainty about COVID is hurtful, not only to our city, but to Oklahoma. And the truth about it is, I think it's going to be this way for a while. There's not going to be a magic cure overnight. We're going to have to figure out how we can function in safe, responsible manner and conduct business and all of our daily activities. So if you have questions, please, as always, you can send them to me directly. You can send them to Scott Morris. You can send them to Derrick, and we'll try to answer them as fast as we can.
Yep. Well, I appreciate your update.
Thank you, Derrick.
Hopefully there can be a compromise between there's people here, there's people on this side. Hopefully there can be a compromise, and the community can work together to come to a good consensus of what to do for the community.
In the end,
this is our community, you know.
You're right.
So, yeah.
And in the end, we'll all have to do what we have to do to make sure that we slow the spread and be as responsible as we can. And hopefully, one of these days, maybe get to a vaccine, but I just don't think it's going to be anytime soon.
Yeah.
So thank
appreciate you for your update. And we appreciate you out there in Enid for joining us every Monday for an update around 1:30. Thank you and have a great day.